Hello. So we are going to look at Stargate, Stargate Universe, and specifically Camille Wray, played by the amazing Ming-Na. Let's go ahead and look at this a little bit and discuss.
My name is Camille Wray. My age is none of your business, Eli. If uh, if anyone finds this within the next, I don't know, 40 years, tell Sharon. My last thoughts were of her.
So, it's already going into my second clip, but Sharon, so if for those of you who have seen the show, Sharon is her friend, as um, Sergeant Greer said on an episode later on season 2. And I'll get to that in a moment. But so Camille Wray, member of the IOA, and instantly had an issue with Greer, and her first instinct on the episode air was when Rush said that he had used the stones and that General O'Neill put him in charge. She goes, "I don't respect your authority, or recognize your authority," or something like that. Recognize, I think, is the word. So instantly she knew that something was off there. And I have to say, Camille Wray, other than TJ and other than Eli, is really the heart of the whole series. She was really keeping everything together. She was one of the ones picked on the lottery during the episode Light, episode 5, season 1. And she goes back and visits her girlfriend on Earth. Or, now, here's what I want to say. I might upset people or I might not. It doesn't matter. In the next clip I'm going to show you, it doesn't matter that she was a lesbian, because they didn't make that her character. She had her character, and that was just part of who she was. It didn't define her. And in modern day storytelling, sci-fi, that's lacking, and that's where this show did it right. The, her character led it, and that's what's more important. In any good storytelling, any good sci-fi, any good television or creative arts in general, the story has to tell it. You don't, you show, you don't tell. And that's kind of one of the bases of how things are supposed to be. I remember my English teacher told me that. Well, random memory. Anyways, Camille Wray. There was the episode, season 1, Divided, where there was a mutiny on the ship and Rush wanted to take over the ship from Colonel Young. And Camille Wray was on Rush's side on the part of the mutiny. But there's this scene right when it starts. You see her hesitate and think, do we really have to do this now? And the way I interpret that, and you can interpret it differently, is that she didn't want to do it in the first place. Like she felt like, mm. But on the episode Pain, I think it's towards the latter end of season one, where everyone is having their worst fears and worst nightmares come to life. I think James killed Scott. Volker was afraid of close spaces. Um, One of the characters was attacked by a cat. Oh, okay. For scratch that, my memory's not great. Um, Sergeant Greer's was that Camille Wray was conspiring against him based on the previous things that was going on. But I don't know. Anyways, during the Lucian Alliance attack, she was negotiating with Kiva and she was doing a great job, but when they had to exchange prisoners, they brought back 5 prisoners and they didn't specify if they were alive or dead during the negotiations. So that was one. Kind of reminds me of Robert Picardo's character, Woosley. He was also a member of the IOA, and his first experiences with dealing with off-world stuff. So she learned though. She learned quicker. Woosley did very well though on Atlantis season 5. That when he started learning. I think that one was on SG1 where he was in that camp when they get attacked by a bunch of bugs or something like that. Anyways, I keep getting off topic. Camille Wray, the last surviving member of the Destiny. And that's it. At least on the alternate timeline. So let's take a look at that clip real quick.
And what? How was it? It was fine. We had a very pleasant dinner. Of all the dates I've had since we got here, she's easily the most compatible with me. So that's the problem. I don't know. I mean, I've already found my soulmate. I don't need another. Steven, no, don't eat that!
Wow. No, that's great. It says a lot about her character. And as someone who has, I don't know if I believe in soulmates or not, but I met someone that I loved with all my heart and got married. And then they passed away. It's been 7 years now. And I've dated since then, here and there, just like that. And it is, I have that similar feeling, so I can relate to that. Anyways, I don't want to go down to my story. This is all about Camille Wray. One of my favorite parts is on the blockade where, because Camille and Young were always almost as much at each other's conflict as Rush and Young were. But on that episode of Blockade is the episode where Young found her new outfit and she wanted an outfit. Also, he let her sit on the captain's chair. He said, "What am I, Captain Kirk or something?" So those are all great episodes. So this one's for Camille Wray. Oh, one more story and then I'll close out. is when the episode when Camille and Gray were on Earth and they helped defuse the bomb that was by the Lucian Alliance. As I mentioned on a previous video, Varro, the hero of Homeworld Command, because he explained to the senator and to the other doctor how to defuse the bomb. But one could argue that it was Camille and Greer that did that. But then one can argue that then they got in a situation in the first place. This wasn't their fault. They were using the stones and they were at the Pentagon. So, I think it was the Pentagon, wasn't it? I can't remember now. I think it was. But so, Camille Wray is a hero, heroine of Destiny. So, this is for her. Anyways, if you have the time or if you care or like or anything, you can please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, More Undomiel. And it's also on X, More Undomiel. Please send me a message. Tell me what I did right, what I did wrong. You can make fun of me. I don't care. I'm not too worried about that. But I like open communication. Remember, be nice and be nice to